So I apologize right now. I'm looking a hot mess. I just had a lot of caffeine and I'm about to film 3 videos in a row. Good for you. Bad for me because I procrastinated until like 2 in the morning, so this is gonna be a wild ride. Right after this, I'm going to be reviewing Inside Out and Mad Max Fury Road, so you're going to be seeing those at the same time I upload this video. But for this video, I wanted to talk about a very important topic that is sure to be circulating still right now. So something happened well, now if you're watching this, 3 days ago. Something pretty big. Marriage equality was officially enacted for my entire country. I remember 3 years ago breaking down crying because the idea of me getting married in my home state, Texas, if I married a woman, seemed like an option that was just not going to be possible when I was in my 20s, my 30s, maybe even my 40s. I never expected marriage equality to reach Texas this quickly. Marriage equality here seemed inevitable, but we have a bad history of governors. I mean, being anything LGBTQIA plus here is not widely accepted, and you sort of cling to the people in the community because they all understand the struggle and how hard it is to be authentically yourself around family and even some friends. And then I realized I've been given this right at a relatively young age. I haven't been without this right for very long as a legal adult, but many other people have. So many people have died without the right to marry their partner of choice. So many people have marched and petitioned and done just about everything under the sun to try to get something that 50 years ago probably seemed impossible. And they all still had passion and hope and refused to take no for an answer. And I think we need to remember these people when it comes to what I have to say next. This is not over. LGBT plus youth are at a higher risk for suicide, abuse, homelessness, and mental illness. In my gender video, I discussed how trans women, specifically trans women of color, have a higher likelihood of being murdered, in fact a 1 in 12 chance, and that their lifespan rarely reaches 30 for that reason and many of the risks I just listed. Laws allowing trans people to make choices that they have every right to make, from using their health insurance to cover transitional operations, deciding which restroom they'd like to use, how their gender is reflected in legal documents, etc., are still few and far between. I mean, there are hundreds of celebratory news articles, tons of companies that they think it's now cute to be pro-gay just because it's suddenly, legal and they can have our business. And a couple white, cis, gay male characters on television that remind us the LGBT plus community exists, but visibility means nothing until we are treated as humans. Every last one of us. This was a monumental step and is surely a day that will go down in history books. But that's just what it is. A step. There is a long road ahead for this community, and while representation is something I love talking about, and it's something that I will always love talking about, I need you to know now that our priorities are fighting for trans-inclusive legislation and trying to find ways to end the cycle of abuse, violence, poor health, and lack of resources that are handed to our community. There are LGBT plus kids that will never receive the opportunity to be married, and there are LGBT plus kids that might not even believe in the institution of marriage or want to get married. Let's talk about that for a second. Marriage. Marriage provides a lot of legal, social, and economic benefits for couples. I don't believe that a slip of paper should be what is standing between you and a partner receiving certain benefits. But that's why I said the institution of marriage. While this is still a huge legislative step forward, marriage is something we need to think about as a society in terms of its value and worth and what type of importance we give it. And of course, if you want to get married for social, religious, or even I just want a ceremony reasons, that's perfectly valid. I just didn't want any misinterpretations there. And I also don't mean to incite fear in any LGBT plus kids with me giving off these statistics and problems that the community is facing, because there will always be hope and progress coming. I just wanted everyone to know that there are still people out there needing our help. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the ruling. I'm extremely happy for everyone, especially those who've spent their whole lives waiting. It's okay to leap for joy and breathe in this moment because it is a big one. But I want you to remember how we got this moment. And it's going to be the same way we'll get every other happy moment after this. Stay demanding justice, stay critical, stay angry, Stay passionate. Stay in constant search of that next step. I can't wait for us to take it.